Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. My name is Tessie Omeri. Let's begin with the headlines. President Tinubu meets Nigerian business magnate Aliko Dangote, discusses collaboration between the private and public sectors for the good of all Nigerians. Lagos State government to commence certification of property to ensure insurance coverage. Correspondent takes a look at the situation of Nigeria's power sector and how government is exploring other sources of energy to ensure efficient electricity supply. Compliments of the season. Nigerian business magnate Aliko Dangote is calling on captains of industry to continue to partner the government for the betterment of the country and in the interest of the citizens. The entrepreneur, another business tycoon Femi Otedola and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State were part of the visitors who paid Salah homage at the Lagos residence of President Bola Tinubu. Dangote, who the president congratulated on his birthday, said the visit was an opportunity to also discuss about the economy, as there is always the need for collaboration between the public and private sectors for the good of all Nigerians.
Well, my own short measure is for us to now actually partner with the government and make sure that we better the life of the citizens of the country, because it's like clapping. You can't clap with one hand. So both the entrepreneurs and the government, they need to clap together and make sure that it is in the best interest of everybody.
Commending government's efforts in checking the deterioration of naira value in the foreign exchange market, Aliko Dangote believes benefits of various efforts will continue to manifest in other sectors of the economy.
And I'm sure when the inflation figures are out for the next month, you see that there's quite a lot of improvement in the inflation, rate. So step at a time, and I'm sure the government is working round the clock to make sure that things get much better, because it's in the interest of everybody for Nigerians to get things better.
In the spirit of how we have been during both the Lent and Ramadan, let's continue with that synergy of peace. Let's know that it's the only thing that can continue to strengthen and hold us as a nation. Let's continue to see that as a rallying point, as people, and to say that indeed some of the challenges that we witnessed at the beginning of the year, we're beginning to see even some ease, even faster than we had expected. We're beginning to see some gradual ease on economic pressure. We're not out completely yet, but we're beginning to see the ease of it. And we as leaders have to now even double up our efforts to do the work faster and quicker, so that the citizens can have that, ease that they all are craving for.
President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to remain patriotic, that his citizens can continue to have faith in his government in its bid to lead the country to greatness. This was the message of the president as he attended Eid al-Fitr prayers at the Dodan Barracks, Lagos.
Kind of resilience, sacrifice, endurance that we have, we should preserve that for the country. Be kind and be cheerful giver. Love our country better than any other country. That's the only one that we have. And we must continue to protect the integrity of our government and leadership.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima was among Muslims that observed the Eid al-Fitr prayers at the Rabat Square in Maiduguri, Borno State, to mark the end of Ramadan fasting. The Vice President was also hosted to a daba at the Shehu of Borno Palace, all part of the celebration.
Pray for peace, social harmony, and development of our dear nation. That's our prayer and that's our best wish.
Salah celebration usually comes with merriment and prayers to Allah for the successful completion of the Ramadan fast. On occasions like this, there is a special group of persons who should also be remembered in the spirit of the season. That is those who are displaced. Ruth Agwele visited some IDP camps in the Federal Capital Territory to find out how they celebrated the day.
This is New Kuchunguru IDP camp in the Federal Capital Territory. The atmosphere here is devoid of any celebration, and one would almost forget there is Salah ongoing. While interacting with some of the IDPs, majority of them in the camp here are Christians, but are very much in tune with the occasion. Ruth Katu says she has been in the camp for more than 10 years, and they lived in harmony with the Muslims. Even with the little they have, they always remember each other on special days like this. To demonstrate that unity they enjoy in the camp, Hadiza, who is only 7, is already been nurtured to promote that harmony that has been an old tradition of good neighborliness during festivities like this.
This has been the tradition here in this camp. We share food with each other. Likewise, during Christmas, they share with us.
I'm praying for my Muslim brothers. May God help them, may they do Salah with peaceful.
We thank God for a successful completion of Ramadan fast. I pray to God to grant us peace in our nation as we celebrate the Salah.
Hafsatu Usman has lived in this khana with her family for more than a decade. It is a big day for her and her friend Rahila, who is a non-Muslim. She has come to lend a helping hand with the cooking.
She's a very nice woman. We share our burdens and joys together. We are now like sisters, and nothing can come in between us.
We live in harmony amongst ourselves, whether Christians or Muslims. We are happy for them as they celebrate this Salah. May God continue to guide us all and take us out of this camp.
I also couldn't resist not sharing in their love. After all, what is Salah without all these goodies to enjoy together? In another camp, the celebration is on top gear as the stage is set for the children to enjoy the day.
Of our commitment, as we see just recently, we have shared some food items to the supplementary community. We supported, we celebrated the Salah holiday.
So that's the essence why we say let us come to rejoice with this internally displaced person. Why? Because if you look at the category of the vulnerability, IDPs, they are the most vulnerable persons in the society.
The lessons for the season is expected to extend beyond the celebration with love for one another. In Abuja, Ruth Agwele, NTA News.
The committee inaugurated by Plateau State government for the resettlement of the internally displaced persons has swung into action by visiting the affected villages across the state. Ijoma Ozomena reports that Boko's local government area was the committee's first port of call.
It will be recalled that Plateau State government set up a committee to ensure resettlement of internally displaced persons back to their communities in phases to enable them participate in this year's farming season. The visit of the committee is to confirm safety of the affected communities from the data gathered to facilitate the return of victims.
And part of the issues we're also looking out for also part of the amenities that they will require to stay comfortably. We're looking at their worship centers, we're looking at the water points, we're also looking out for clinics and their schools, anyone that is touched, so that a little renovation that will enhance their well-being. Government will also recommend to government to see how they can be able to fix those things quickly for these returnees to return back.
The communities applaud government for the efforts and appeal for deployment of more security personnel in the areas to forestall further displacement.
I'm very impressed with the effort that government is doing to bring our people back to their root.
Our prayer is that we need the government to help us to bring securities.
I'm happy that yes, the state government and the federal have taken a bold step to see that the displaced are resettled.
They express willingness to return to their ancestral homes. The assessment visit to IDP camps is going on simultaneously across the state. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities has sued for better collaboration with national and international organizations to support vulnerable persons in Nigeria. He drummed his support when he joined the other philanthropists to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with internally displaced persons in Abuja. Joseph Osen has more.
These internally displaced persons at Duremi IDP camp. A day to dine and wine with government officials and philanthropists amidst difficult economic situation is what this Salah celebration brings, adding to the joy of completing the Ramadan fast.
Our children dance, eat and drink, so we are so happy. May Almighty God bless everybody that came here.
Our Father, Your Excellency, the President Baba Ahmed Tinubu, our mother of the nation, Mommy Oloremi Tinubu, please let Nigeria remember you for your gesture and concern for the IDPs.
What do you have to say? Thank you, Mom. What do you have to say? All right, congratulations.
This joyful occasion is put together by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities, in collaboration with philanthropists like Queen Adenike, the Joshua Foundation.
It's about the IDPs, persons with disability, their education in the health sector, and livelihood support. So when you partner with this kind of organization from the government angle, the government, they will provide the technical support, and the other identified sector that she can feel that she can support, then she can come in. You can see how you can run the government. You can't run the government in isolation without collaboration.
We have already got a lot of international donor partner organizations, as well as some partners here that are committed to bring some funding to support the establishment of the factory for the production of assistive devices in Nigeria. We must make sure that these are locally produced to enable us to reduce the burden on our dollars as we continue to import these facilities annually.
You know, as a people, when we come together as Nigerians to assist the government in the little way you can help people, it will reduce the stress, it will reduce poverty in the country. Feed someone, send some people, some vulnerable children, send them to school.
At the moment, these internally displaced persons put their ordeals of conflict and living in poor conditions aside to put a smile and dance to a renewed hope that has inclusion as a major pillar. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break. Do stay with us. Stay with us straight to the business desk. Nigeria to receive $1.05 billion syndicated loan backed by oil from the African Export-Import Bank in May. Vivian Ozedefi has these and more on business.
The loan is part of a larger $3.3 billion prepayment facility arranged by Afrexim Bank, with repayment terms tied to crude cargoes from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Afrexim's Bank's Senior Executive Vice President for Finance, Administration and Banking, Dennis Dinya, confirmed the verification of crude availability, paving the way for the final release of the balance within the next month. According to reports, the loan aims to revive Nigeria's economy and enhance the supply of hard currency in the local foreign exchange markets. This financial drive is designed to provide Nigeria with immediate funds based on future oil production, offering a lifeline to the country's struggling economy. In another development, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has banned the use of foreign-denominated collateral for naira loans. The CBN, however, exempted from the ban euro bonds issued by the federal government or guarantees of foreign banks, including standby letters of credit. Announcing the ban in a circular titled "The Use of Foreign Currency Denominated Collaterals for Naira Loans," Director, Banking Supervision Department (CBN) Adetona Adedeji said the Central Bank of Nigeria has observed the prevailing situation where bank customers use foreign currency as collateral for Naira loans. Consequently, he said the current practice of using foreign currency denominated collateral for naira loans is hereby prohibited, except where the foreign currency collateral is euro bonds issued by the federal government of Nigeria or guarantees of foreign banks, including standby letters of credit. In this regard, Adedeji noted that all loans currently secured with dollar-dominated collateral other than as mentioned above should be wound down within 90 days, and failure of such exposures shall be risk-weighted 150% for capital adequacy ratio computation, in addition to other regulatory sanctions. With business, Vivian Ezadifi, NTA News.
Thank you, Vivian. A cross-section of Port Harcourt residents wants the relevant authorities to adequately protect consumer rights, even as some call on the business community in Nigeria to bring their conscience to bear in the conduct of transactions in view of the rising value of the naira. Kingsley Amajri, who spoke with some of the people, reports.
Most Nigerians suddenly woke up to arbitrary increase in the cost of goods and services, which has been attributed to various factors. The rise in the cost of transportation, increase in house rent, and continuous high cost of food items have had negative impact on many households, resulting in severe measures being put in place by the federal government to ameliorate the plight of the populace.
I'm happy with the rise in the value of the currency naira, but what I'm also concerned about is the effect on the common man in terms of the cost of goods and services.
At some point, the traders and service providers blamed the situation to the fall in naira value against the US dollars. Now that the naira is regaining its value, prices of goods and services have remained unchanged, and this, a cross-section of residents of Port Harcourt say, requires the intervention of the Price Regulatory Agency.
Definitely there must be a price control board. If there is no price control board, whatever goes up will never come down.
There are supposed to be a standing regulatory body, and when it comes to times like this, that's the time they should work. Whoever is in place, we should now push them to go around, check the market, look at the prices of things. What is the response on the general public?
There are a lot of things they could do. They can equally advertise the price of a particular good. See, this today, rice, a bag of rice is 40,000. If you don't sell it, in fact, command people to come and buy. And before you know it, their price will come down.
The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency is saddled with the duties of monitoring, regulating, and pricing of petroleum products in Nigeria, while the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is envisioned to protect and promote the interests of consumers at a competitive price. Analysts are of the opinion that these agencies need to do more towards protecting the populace from arbitrary price hike. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
A desperate situation requires desperate solution, and a mixed grill approach might provide alternatives. That is the situation of Nigeria's power sector, and government is exploring other sources of energy to ensuring electricity is available. But what is the level of investment? Joshua Ojito takes a look at energy source that may be an alternative to national grid.
National Grid, providing electricity to growing customers in the country for decades, but customer satisfaction seems low due to challenges of epileptic supply, overbilling, poor investment in distribution networks, among others, in the midst of weak and over-dependent grid. Now, Nigeria is exploring solar home systems and off-grid mini solutions to bridge energy gap and reduce over-dependence on the national grid under the federal government Vision 30-30-30 energy mix.
We are completing the 20 megawatt wind solar hybrid power plant in Katsina State. We have completed the 10 megawatt wind. We are now hybridizing it with a solar of another 10 megawatts. Once we complete that, that's another 20 megawatts coming from Katsina State. Then we are revisiting the abandoned 15 independent power plant, IPP solar plant in the northern part of the country, and developing an IPP solar auction with support of the World Bank. World Bank is working with us on this. They have concluded their investigation on determining how much of solar energy our grid can absorb. If we have 50 megawatts across 15 locations, we are talking about 750 megawatts of solar energy that will plug into the grid.
Renewable energy is actually a welcome development, and Nigeria has taken advantage of support from multilateral agencies, from the World Bank, from the African Development Bank, from the USAID and other developmental agencies to make sure that our people have access to this.
Implementation of energy mix vision on course, but there are fears that Nigeria cannot meet the 2030 target of 30,000 megawatts renewable energy due to low investments.
It's era of renewable energy, solar, wind, plant, and all of those. If you are able to face, all right, to encourage a wide population or customers of Nigeria, and then make them to understand that renewable energy is the shortest way to go.
Also, there are other renewable energy sources such as wind, biomass, among others, yet untapped, and exploring them is expected to significantly provide alternative to customers. Achieving energy mix for the country, industry players say, require multifaceted investment from both federal and state governments as well as private players. In addition to full implementation of initiatives such as Renewable Energy Micro-Utility Program, REMU, of the federal government, incentives to investors to encourage investment and make prices of renewable energy infrastructure affordable to customers. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The Lagos State government is set to commence certification of property to ensure that they are duly insured according to laws of the state. This was disclosed by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Urban Development, Olaide Babatunde, during a visit to the site of the fire incident in Idumabo. Diana Ajale has more.
Passionate fires that ravaged buildings at Idumabo Market on Tuesday in Lagos left nothing but debris and rubble after the joint emergency responders battled for hours to put out fire. The fire outbreak is the third around Balogu Market in less than a month. Among the victims is a middle-aged man, Ifeanyi Obi, who lost all his warehouse and shops to the inferno.
I'm not even bringing any pin inside the warehouse. Even the shop, both the documents and a lot of things. I had not even taken any pin from there.
Meanwhile, emergency responders are still at the scene to avert further spread of the fire.
We are dealing with highly flammable chemicals. We are dealing with a sort of continuity in the building. There is no clear demarcation. If you see how the building are erected, you will see that there is no clear space. To say it loud, they did not follow a clear building controlling code. That certificate for fitness is issued every 5 years. If you don't have that certificate, whether you are using it for a commercial venture, you are using it for a residential venture, we are going to close down that building, I can assure you, because we want to avert this kind of incidences.
In another development, a lone ghastly motor accident occurred Wednesday morning by Adeniji Adele, Aziz of the 3rd Mainland Bridge. The vehicle, which was on high speed, hit the bridge rails several times, and the impact caused 2 passengers to fall into the lagoon, while other injured passengers were rushed to the nearest hospital.
We had to mobilize local and police marine to go for rescue. But other victims who had minor injury dropped along the way to the hospital, while the other victim said he preferred to go to his company's hospital for proper treatment.
Search is still ongoing to rescue the 2 passengers that fell into the lagoon as at the time of filing this report. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 10.